Today is a fan fiction concept series that I came up with that I think would be great. Uh, Not for me to do. I'm putting this suggestion out there to the people who produced the TV series called Homecoming that stars Julia Roberts. It's a very good TV series. It was 2 seasons. It only lasted 2 seasons. It was from 2018. But I think that they could do a reboot of it or bring it back for a third season. Because 2018 is not that long ago, about 7 years ago. And I think that the TV series was very, very different. Very, like, it's not a style of television that is around a lot. It's very rare. The way that they did the filming, the scenes, the music, everything, it all came together to make a very unique, very different, very out there kind of like TV series. And I kind of respect and appreciate creative people like that who can think outside the box and make something very different, you know? And that's what that series is with Julia Roberts. It's extremely different. It's not the typical boring stuff that you watch, the typical, boring TV show. Which don't get me wrong, actually also like boring TV shows because I like to fall asleep to boring TV shows. But this Homecoming, it's kind of like I don't know how to explain it really. I mean, I can never really explain it to do it justice. It just is a very different the way it was cinematically done and filmed, and the music and even the acting in combination made the whole series extremely special. And the script is amazing. I'm not going to give away what happened, but basically, it's one of those TV shows that like changes you as a person after you watch it, which is really hard, especially these days for a TV show to do. It's hard these days for a TV show with all the crap that's out there to really change someone the way you think or influence you and move you emotionally. And I feel like Homecoming really does that. So I wanted to bring forward a idea for a fan fiction concept series. I know a lot of people these days there's a big trend about doing fan fiction stuff. It's like, improving or adding or, showing your homage to a show that you like. But I like a lot of shows. I really do. And so I could have been doing fan fiction for a lot of different shows. But to be honest, I chose this one because I do have a mind. I have a very creative out there mind. And I could see things in this homecoming show. There were like illusions and there were manipulations and deceptions. There were tricks on the mind. And I could see these things on the homecoming show. I could see them. And I'm not sure if other people picked up on this on the show. It's almost as if the show was trying to manipulate people's minds or do some sort of mind control or mind alteration of someone's subconscious. So that I kind of got that impression from the show Homecoming, and I appreciate a show that can do something like that. That can try. I mean, obviously, I don't want the show to control people and manipulate people. I don't think that a TV series should be designed to change someone's brain biology. Like, I don't think a TV show should manipulate someone's subconscious and change them as a person. That's pretty scary. But I feel like Homecoming, it was able to uh, delve into the subconscious. It was able to delve into consciousness. What is consciousness? What do we consider us to be conscious? What is reality? And I really feel like Homecoming did a good job of broaching the area of consciousness and reality. And so that's why I came up with this Homecoming Reborn fan fiction concept series so this would be season three. So they did 2 seasons, and it was 2018 and 2019. And then the seasons finished after 2 seasons. But I think they could do a third season, and this is the concept that they should do for the third season. It's called Homecoming Reborn, and basically they take people and they put them back in the womb. I know this sounds funny. So there's a womb, like like the womb when you're born. There's a womb, right? But What if there was like a machine, some kind of machine, contraption, device that was like a re-womanization, like taking a person, maybe that person's in their 20s or their 30s or their 40s, and they put them back into like a womb. Like, so it's kind of like, it kind of gives you like a Wizard of Oz type of feeling, right? Like the magic of the Wizard of Oz kind of, or maybe like an Illuminati, like something that the Illuminati people would do. They take people and they can put them back in a womb, some kind of womb, and they can kind of like make them reborn. Because when you go back inside of a womb and when you come out of a womb, even if it's an artificial womb, like it's, and when I say womb, I hope you understand what I'm saying. WOMB. WOMB, womb. It's some sort of artificial womb that they put people back into, and then they come out reborn from coming back out of the womb, right? And so I think it's a good idea for a conspiracy for season three, because I think that with keeping within the tone of the first two seasons, they are taking kind of like mad scientists and they're kind of like doing the whole mad scientist kind of thing. The mad scientists who are like fucking with your consciousness. Sorry, I shouldn't have swore. Messing with your consciousness, right? Messing with your consciousness. And hello, welcome. Someone came in. Gina. Hello, Gina. Welcome. Hi. So Homecoming is a very, for people who just came into the room, to the live stream, Homecoming, you should watch it. It's with Julia Roberts. The first two seasons, the first season's with Julia Roberts. The second season with a different actress. But it's a very, this show is like a mind fuck. Like this show like fucks with your brain kind of thing. It's a total mind fuck, the show. It's a very, I can't even really explain it. I mean, it's one of those shows that you can't actually really explain that well. Like you have to just watch it, kind of. But it's a mind fuck. If you're looking for a show that will totally mess with your your consciousness, and I feel like it doesn't totally change the person's consciousness, but it's broaching that. That's kind of where it's heading. And I mean it's definitely, from all the shows out there today, it's definitely the most conscious forward show where it kind of like tries to explore the consciousness of the human mind. And that's what basically, that's my perception of Homecoming, the TV series. And so I think for season three, to bring the show back, I think it would be smart if they did Homecoming Reborn, or it could be a spin-off. It could be a spin-off of Homecoming. It doesn't have to be season three. But basically, it's like they're taking people and putting them back into some sort of womb, like an artificial womb, and they're being reborn. So people are literally being reborn, because when you go back into a womb and you come out of a womb, even if it's an artificial womb. So this is like a mad scientist who makes a giant womb, like a womb that, when you're born, you come out of a womb, right? This is a mad scientist that makes an artificial womb, like a huge one, like a huge womb that they could take a 20-year-old, a 40-year-old, a 60-year-old, a 90-year-old, and put these people back in the womb, and then they are somehow reborn, right? They are reborn in this artificial womb, right? So it's definitely a concept I've never heard about. I mean, there could be. I've never heard of a science fiction movie where a mad scientist recreated an artificial womb and then took people and put them back in the womb like a 20-year-old, and then they were came out like reborn, changed, revitalized, rejuvenized, like. And when you're in the womb, that's when you typically acquire things like language abilities and stuff. So imagine someone goes back in the womb, you could put like an English person back in the womb and then suddenly teach them Russian or teach them Spanish or teach them German. And then that person comes out of the womb, suddenly they can speak German, right? Because they were in an artificial womb, right? So it'd be really interesting concept. There's an artificial womb, a mad scientist created a womb, like an artificial womb, and they take people and they put them back in the womb. So like a 20-year-old could go back in the womb, a 40-year-old, a 90-year-old could go back in the womb, and they're like reborn because they're coming back out of a womb. Even though it's an artificial womb, they're coming back out of a womb, and now they're like reborn, coming out of a womb. So Homecoming season three could be all about this new mad scientist kind of thing. Because the first two seasons, without giving away the first two seasons, it's kind of like a mad scientist kind of thing where they're really screwing with consciousness and science, and really like a dystopian kind of sciencey kind of thing. It's hard to explain. I'm not going to give away the show, but it's very good. The first two seasons, and I think that they should do. I think that this show really has potential. Season three, I think they should bring it back for season three. I really do. I like everything about the show. Like I like the actors, the acting. I like the realisticness of the show. I like how the show does it like almost you can't really expect what's going to happen next in the show. It really is very scary like that. And it's really like it's really relevant to life. The show's really relevant to your life. You're gonna watch the show and not waste your time. It's not gonna just be like random people who got together and made a TV show. This show is like very crafted, like almost like a witch crafted the show, like a wizard crafted the show, like a TV series that was crafted by a wizard or a witch, you know? That's how Homecoming feels. It feels like Homecoming was craft. I mean, I'm not saying Julia Roberts is a witch. She was just one of the producers. She's an actress in the first season, but it was as if somebody, I don't know if it was a male or a woman, who was like a witch or a wizard, and as if they crafted this show to like screw with people's minds, kind of thing. And that's kind of how the Homecoming season one and two with Julia Roberts. That's how it kind of feels. It's a good TV series. I recommend it. I recommend you watch Homecoming season one and two, but also they should bring back season three, and they should do a season three, is what I'm saying. And they could do this whole concept of these mad scientists who recreate a womb, an artificial womb. People go back in the womb and then come out the womb reborn. And then suddenly they could take an 80-year-old, put them back in the womb, and then suddenly they're reborn in the womb and they come out of the womb, right? So it definitely the TV show will broach the area about if there's a soul or if there's not a soul, right? Soul, not a soul, consciousness, not consciousness. Can someone be reborn? Is there life after death? All of those concepts will be broached, will be, touched upon on this TV series, this reboot, Homecoming Reborn. And they could even have a mother, which would be really interesting. And I think it's always good to have some sort of comedy element of a TV series, comedy. And they could have a mother, maybe it could be a woman or a man or mystery, a robot, who knows, but it's some sort of mother that like talks to the people while they're in the womb, right? So that there's a mad scientist, they rebuilt a womb, an artificial womb. People go in the womb, like an 80-year-old, a 90-year-old, a 20-year-old goes back in the womb, and then there's a mother who talks to the person while they're in the artificial womb, some kind of mother, some kind of being, and then that mother changes that person by the way they talk to them in the womb, right? Maybe the mother tells the person to be a better person, or maybe the mother tells the person just teaches them Russian or teaches them German or teaches them a different language, or maybe the mother tries to give them inspiration or whatever, right? So it'd be really interesting, and then they could have some sort of comedic element to the show. Like, for example, like the first episode, maybe they're showing the facility, the research facility, and they're showing off the womb and the artificial womb and the scientist, and someone asks a question, like someone asks, "Who plays the mother?" Right? Like who plays because it's a mystery. It's a mystery. There's a voice. Who plays the mother? Who's the voice? Who's the motherly voice talking to the people in the womb? Right? And then they could turn around and say something like, "Oh, it's not Julia Roberts." That would be really, that would be kind of like a funny, like meta, like little thing there, like a homage to the first two seasons of Homecoming with Julia Roberts, and the fact that she's the producer. And then it would kind of be like a little kind of funny thing, like someone says, "Oh, well, it's not Julia Roberts," like that's not the voice of the mother, but it would be really like a surprise. Like this would be a season finale. Like this would be a cliffhanger season finale. Who a mystery? Who is the voice of the mother? Who is the mother? Who plays the mother? It's kind of like mysterious, right? There's some woman or guy or person or robot or alien who's talking to these people while they're put back in the womb, right? So it'd be a really interesting concept idea for a third season of Homecoming. I recommend also, by the way, that you check out the show, Homecoming, the first season and second season. I went to marketing college, and in marketing college, they teach you, right? They say, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? And this is kind of like my idea towards fan fiction. I really like fan fiction because fan fiction, you can take something already done and then make it better, add to it, bring it back. You could revitalize it. You could rejuvenate it. Kind of like the concept of the third season. You could take like a 20-year-old, a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old, and like put them back in the womb and like rejuvenize them, revitalize them. Totally, they'll come back out of the womb as a new person almost, right? And then someone will play the artificial mother, someone will play the role of the mother, and then it's like a mad scientist, they create an artificial womb that people go back in the womb. So I think it's an interesting idea, a science fiction concept for a third season of Homecoming. And I think someone should, I don't know how to reach out to like the producers of the TV series Homecoming, but if you're watching this and you think this is a good idea, by all means, because this is fan fiction, so it's not like I can even take credit for it. It's fan fiction. Fan fiction is like you know what fan fiction is, right? So obviously, just go ahead and if you think this is a good idea for the third season of Homecoming, then message and if you know how to message the producers of Homecoming, then message them and be like, hey, you should totally bring back Homecoming for season three, and you should do this and something about an artificial womb and an artificial mother and whatever, and people are being reborn, Homecoming reborn. So I just thought, anyways. So yeah.